Good morning and welcome back to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning. If you're watching us live, thanks for that. If you are listening to this or watching the video later, appreciate that as well. Please remember we do upload these shows to www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. There it is. Let's get into your traffic and weather this morning. It's going to be a rough morning if you're driving into Baton Rouge. I'm sorry for that. Although I do not affect the weather or other people's driving, it is going to be a rough one. There are wrecks on 190 and I-12. Both come just after the Denham Springs area. One is just over the bridge on 190 in Baton Rouge. The other is a wreck just after the Range Avenue on-ramp on I-12. Both are causing major delays. Backups on I-12 are past Jubin Road this morning. Backups on 190 are deep into Denham Springs, with River Road and 4-H Club Road having trouble draining that traffic out. So please keep that in mind. Going to be a slow commute this morning into Baton Rouge with those two wrecks. Also looking at delays in and around the large high schools, that would be Denham, Walker, and Live Oak, as folks drop their kids off at school. Minor delays on 64, but heavy delays on Greenville Springs, as a lot of people are probably going to choose that to get into Baton Rouge. It's currently 46 degrees, 66 degrees is your high, 48 your overnight low. Looking at this kind of temperature, warming trend for the rest of the week, going to be in the mid to high 60s during the day, high 40s, low 50s during the night. So not too bad. Not as bad as some of those below freezing days when we had to protect those pets, pipes, and plants. Speaking of peas, tonight we have several meetings going on. First is the Parish Council. They will be meeting at 6 p.m. There will be a brief finance meeting before that. They meet in Livingston. Now, packed agenda. It will be the first regular meeting of the council after the two new members. That would be Gerald McMorris of District 6 and Randy Delatt of District 8 have been sworn in, so there's going to be some interesting discussion going on today. Mr. Randy Delatt has a lot of issues on the agenda, one of which has to do with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We had a story run yesterday that according to the agenda, Mr. Delatt is looking to have Director Eric Edwards, who is the head of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, come talk to the council, tell them all what's going on, talk about his budget, which is roughly $600,000 a year at this point. They've got about $1 million left over. The CVB has 4 employees, 2 full-time, which would be Edwards himself, as well as Mr. Jonathan J.T. Taylor, who is the assistant director. There are also 2 part-time office managers who help those gentlemen keep everything straight. So Mr. Eric Edwards, he talked several months ago to the Master Plan Committee about a potential civic center, said it would cost $40 to $50 million. It would be $500,000 to $600,000 a year to maintain. So there's a lot of discussion around that. Maybe some grant money or something to help with that. So we'll probably hear more about that tonight. We'll also hear about his budget. There was some concern about some things that happened at the previous Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting with regard to financial reporting to the Parish Council. However, the finances for the CVB come through a hotel motel tax. That is state legislated. It went through the legislature. It has technically nothing to do with the parish. The tax exists here, of course, but it is not reported to the parish. It is not a part of their budget, and they have no control over that. They can't change that. However, the Parish Council does appoint the 7 members of the CVB board. So there's an interesting little give and take there. So probably looking for Mr. Edwards to come in tonight, give a little presentation, see what was going on at his last board meeting in regard to them trying to get better about reporting what's going on at the CVB to the Parish Council, and moving on from there. Outside of that, you're looking at a lot of sub boards, fire district boards, rec boards, that kind of thing. A lot of ins and outs as a new council comes in, appointing new people, putting new people on these boards, and also, if you add, you must subtract. So there will be some people removed from. There will be people removed from boards. One of those boards might be the Convention and Visitors Bureau, because there's 7 members on that board, 9 members of the Parish Council. Mr. Scooter Keene and Mr. Gary Frog Talbert do not have an appointment, despite having PARDs in Mr. Keene's district, which is the largest park in the parish, as well as Mr. Gary Frog Talbert having Tiki Tubing, which is one of the, outside of Bass Pro, which is sort of retail, It's one of the more major tourist attractions here in Livingston Parish. So going to be some interesting things going forward with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. If you don't know what they do, they are in Albany. They're just south of I-12, and it's their job to promote the parish. They do a lot of work with the Lieutenant Governor's office. They do a lot of work with the local places, restaurants, Bass Pro, parks, talking about tiki tubing, promoting those places in as many places as they can, as far away as New Orleans, Mobile, Houston, trying to get folks to come here. You'd be surprised how large the tourism industry is in Livingston Parish. They have a hotel motel tax on the books, which generates, as mentioned, about $600,000 a year. And that's straight people staying in hotel rooms and paying a small percentage on that. So there's plenty of people coming here to stay. A lot of them are workers. A lot of people are just coming here for baseball tournaments, as mentioned, tiki tubing, that kind of thing. So keep an eye on that. That it'll be interesting to see how the relationship between the parish council and the CVB evolves. As mentioned, there's going to be some other board mix-ups tonight as well, probably some committee establishments. We are told that Mr. Gary Frolic Talbert, who was or probably still is currently in Washington, D.C. for Washington Mardi Gras, will be flying in for the meeting, as they will finally be voting on chair and co-chair for the committee. So keep an eye on that. I will be there. I'll keep you updated on Facebook and Twitter. That was a lot about the parish council. The school board will have several committee meetings before their regular meeting at 7 p.m., talking about a variety of different things, especially with some repurposing of buildings and things like that in those committee meetings that will flow forward into the full board meeting. Again, that's at 7 p.m. Unfortunately, the Live Oak boys, who had their hands on at least a share of the district title, this would be boys soccer, a late goal from Tara pushed them out, pushed them into second place. They were this close. So Live Oak boys coming in their own, starting to compete for some district championships, or at least shares of district titles. Just about this close. I think it was in the 83rd minute that final goal was scored, and Live Oak couldn't find a way to score again. But that'll be a good showing for later and a good showing for the playoffs. Therese Kinchin, a former Denham Springs High School standout in basketball, has found his way to the University of Minnesota to play basketball. So he's had sort of a rocky journey post high school. Couple of junior colleges in Kansas, maybe thinking he might be able to get into school there, but finally got an offer from Minnesota and got back into playing the game that he loves. So congratulations to Mr. Therese. You can read all about his journey at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. It'll also be in this Thursday's paper. There's a ton of scores up as well. You can always check those out at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. We appreciate you parents and scorekeepers who send in those books for us to use to keep track of these teams as we move through the season. Can't be everywhere every night, so we try to do the best we can at getting that coverage out for you. Maurepas High School announced their homecoming court. You can read the full list. There's a ton of ladies at www.livingstonparishnews.com/living. They will be selected at a basketball game because they don't have a football team. Actually, a lot of parish schools do selections at basketball games and have their homecoming surrounding that, because they don't have a football team. So congratulations to those ladies on being named in the homecoming court. It'll be interesting to see who wins homecoming queen in Maurepas. Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries had a good announcement if you like to fish. Yesterday they put 200 pounds of rainbow trout in Sidney Hutchinson Park's pond open for fishing. Yeah, it's part of a statewide initiative. They put out over a ton, about 2,400 pounds worth of rainbow trout in 12 different bodies of water. Sidney Hutchinson Park in Walker just happened to be one of them. That it's open to fish, of course, during regular park hours. Go on out, try to catch you some rainbow trout. The ones they put in there weigh anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds. So thank you, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. One last time, let's get back to your traffic. Talk about that real quick. Again, 2 wrecks going on this morning. One after the Range Avenue intersection with I-12 heading westbound. It is backed up traffic past Jubin Road, so please be prepared for those delays. Also, there is a wreck on 190 going westbound. It's over in the East Baton Rouge area, just over the bridge. It is backed traffic up deep into Denham Springs. You're looking at delays on 4H Club Road and River Road that are trying to drain onto 190. Minor delays on 64 heading into Central, looking at some heavy delays once you take a left there on Greenville Springs. And of course, people still filing out of those high school areas, dropping their kids off for school this morning. A reminder that it's currently 46 degrees. 66 degrees is your high today, with 48 your overnight low. So we're moving out of those freezing temperatures. Still going to be cold. Still need to keep that heater on. Still need to bundle up. However, it is going to be a little warmer outside at night and definitely warmer during the day. One last time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us this morning for the Livingston Parish News Morning Show. Remember, we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find us once a week in print, or we are online, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We also have an app to go with that. Hope you have a great day. We do have an announcement to make. We have a podcast coming. They cannot make the morning show, but the guys from the Real Life, Real Crime podcast will be joining me here in the booth tomorrow at 10 a.m. to record a podcast, so you'll be able to see them. Probably tomorrow afternoon, I'll have that processed and sent out to the world. We get to check in on those guys, see what they've got coming up, kind of find out a little bit about them, how they got into it, where they came from, that sort of thing. So it's going to be fun. Going to enjoy sitting down with them. So again, please check us out tomorrow. We're going to be having the morning show. We'll have that parish council wrap up, and then I'll get out those Real Life, Real Crime podcast guys to you in the afternoon. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.